Well, I'm out working in the garden, but I was going to say something. I heard a funny thing today that I think is hilarious, but I'm sure it upsets a lot of people. But North Korea has finally got fed up with South Korea keeps sending these balloons over North Korea to scatter propaganda leaflets. Oh, I'm sure if you looked into it, we're probably paying for that whole operation. But this has been going on for some time. And North Korea got tired of it. So they have sent, well, over 300 balloons. Evidently the wind has switched. So they're sending balloons into South Korea carrying garbage bags full of just trash, including human excrement, it said, but cigarette butts and just garbage. And some of them are set with timers, so they go so far, and then they drop their load on South Korea. I just thought that was hilarious, and the South Koreans are all upset, saying this violates the armistice, and because that war never really ended. I mean, it's just a kind of a stalemate. We like it that way. I mean, then we got a reason to be in South Korea. Otherwise, they would try to reunite, but they can't. We got to keep that hot, so we got a reason to be there. But I thought that was funny. Just bags full of garbage, dropping them on South Korea. So maybe they'll cool their leaflet program down. But they could. They're claiming, oh my God, this is a horrible act. Well, I would say putting propaganda leaflets in somebody else's country through balloons is a pretty horrible act too. But they could be sending like incendiary balloons back into South Korea, or balloons trailing lengths of wire that would knock the power out. They could be doing that, but they aren't. They're making a statement by just sending bags of garbage. It just strikes me as clever, and I find it funny. But I'm sure South Korea's pissed off, and I'm sure we're pissed off. But no matter. Let's see. Well, I was going to mention, okay, I've got this is my kind of like kitchen garden. Well, there's a lot more to it. I mean, it goes way back there. But what I'm doing in this one, like there's radishes, 3 types of onions, and there's a row of carrots. There was another row of radishes, but I'm kind of to the end of that. But what I'm going to do with these are Norland potatoes. And I did a thing with them last year. Now, or not last year, it was like the year before. This isn't my only potatoes. I've got like, must be, 6 times this amount planted in the big garden that is just over the hill. But these, like I said, it's kind of my kitchen garden. But what I'm going to do with these is a trick where, once they start getting blossoms on, you could start pulling potatoes out from under them. And I found that when I did that the one year, what happened is that I didn't get as many potatoes under each plant, but they were much bigger potatoes. So instead of getting, like 2 big potatoes and 3 medium potatoes and a half dozen little potatoes, I got like 5 big potatoes under each plant. So I'm going to experiment with that theory in this little patch and see how that works out this year. Though I'd have to say, I have to watch them close. I already found 2 potato beetles climbing on them which I immediately massacred. But that's, and they didn't get a chance to lay eggs. But you got to watch. If you see them, tip the leaves over. If you see them little yellow egg groups under little clusters of eggs under a leaf, you got to get rid of them. But we'll see. We'll see how this works out in this patch. Because I thought it made a big difference in the size of potatoes by cutting down the number of potatoes, and it kept being potatoes all summer. So I'll do that again. But I thought I'd try it with the Norland. In the other one, I've got about double this many Norlands, and an equal amount of the Viking and Yukon Gold. And I got my corn over there and all of the viney stuff. I still got room here in this one. I'll be putting some stuff. I got some plants started that are going to go in there. But I always do like to keep a little extra room for, if I suddenly decide, I want to plant this or I want to plant that, I like to have a little room to experiment with. I'm curious to see if that. I could just see them laughing like hell as they turn them balloons loose. But you know how irritating it is, like if somebody puts flyers under your windshield wiper in a mall parking lot. Well, how do you feel if you're in North Korea and constantly being barraged with them damn flyers from South Korea that are pure propaganda? Yeah, well, I can see where that would piss him off, but I thought that was a clever way of getting back at him. But I'm sure our State Department is all shook, because I could bet you, if you look into it, you will find that we are paying for that whole leafletting operation. It's the kind of thing we like to do. That and radio propaganda.